Well, hello, weather fans. CherkyB here from CherkyB Weather or Not, your best source in blog-worthy weather observations. And I'm observing that it is a beautiful evening here in Fort Tom Collins. It's approximately 71 degrees, according to WeatherBug, which is, an excellent weather service. They tell you how close the nearest lightning is. Today it was 655 miles when I last checked. Sun's gone behind a cloud. You can see the reflection over here, I think. And the sun's over there, and there's a cloud. It was beautiful and sunny just a few minutes ago as I was setting up for this shot. Oh, what's that? You thought I was surprised by you being here? Funny story. On roughly my last weather video, I told a little story about how, if I go to Harrison Balzania's house, I say something like, now that I've driven through your neighborhood, I can understand why you have such a penchant for guns. Well, today I'm sitting there, picking up my son from school, and I get a text from my good friend Harry Balzania, and he says the SWAT team is there raiding the house behind him. So I stand by my earlier comments. This just isn't going right today. I don't know what the deal is. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. This is the third pipe I ever made. I've just redone the stem on pipe number 9, the devil pipe. And I had it hand delivered. Yogi took it up to Corn Cob in Oregon and hand delivered the pipe. It was very exciting. He doesn't smoke a pipe yet, but we'll get him to. I think this weekend we'll have another meeting of the Highland Pipers Pipe Club. I haven't checked the weekend forecast, and I, of course, am not a weather forecaster, so I can't tell you what it's going to be like this weekend. And I can't check right now. Because I'm using the camera on my phone to shoot this. Drink up, Rufus. You're falling behind there, Chief. This past weekend, I spent quite a bit of time up on the pergola changing the sunshade cloth. I always forget how wobbly it is up there. It's on, 10-foot 6x6s in the corners, and then, it's another 1.5 feet above that. And, it looks super, super sturdy and everything, till you get up at the top, somebody around, let's say, a random person, maybe, who's around 200 pounds, gets up on top of it and tries to walk around, and it's like walking on a moving boat. It took a couple hours, I think. Got to use my pneumatic staple gun. That was fun because I put in a bunch of staples. Last time I did it with one of those spring-loaded ones, the regular, I don't know what they're called, carpenter staplers or whatever. And it was just a big pain. I even bought a new one partway through because I hated the old one. Because I had one, they've got the ones where the handle's hinged at the front. The problem with those is as you press down, it kind of lifts the front up, so it never quite goes all the way. So I bought one of those where the handle's hinged from the back. Right, so you press down. I think you run it backwards. I can't remember. But you're pressing down on right above the staple, so it goes in. It's a smarter design. But the smartest design is one that's run by an air compressor. So Easter morning, my neighbors got to hear me toot, 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 like I was having my roof done. Only it was done much quicker. The house next to me is still for sale. I don't know if anyone will ever live there again. It's been empty for a while. It's sad. But it's quiet. It's just not burning well today. It's very strange, very strange. This is normally a very reliable pipe. Oops. It's reliable tobacco. This is GLP's Haddo's something. I think it's Haddo's Delight. I'm actually sure. It's Haddo's something. It's good. Got a big can of it. The angry bald guy at the pipe store recommended it. He may be the owner. He's not super friendly. Did a lot of yard work this weekend. I got the ponds running. My pond guy, it's been about a week and a half. Still haven't heard back from the pond guy. That's fairly normal. I usually panic at about 2 weeks and say, oh, he must have gone out of business. Even though I saw his truck around in the neighborhood. He does a number of the ponds around here. Us fancy rich people, we can't take care of our own ponds. I tried, I failed. It's not an easy task. Now I understand it better. But the idea of getting, draining the whole thing, pressure washing it out, taking out all the rocks and all the plants and all the fish and everything, pressure washing the whole thing out, putting everything back just perfectly, refilling it, treating the water, putting the fish back in. It's not something I want to do. I don't want to spend a day doing that. I'd rather pay the guy. It's like $100 an hour. It's worth every penny. Save that just in waiters. Plus, I don't own a pressure washer. It'd be a good excuse to buy a pressure washer. I've decided I have enough stuff, though. I keep buying new stuff for my pipe making. I was looking at a cheap benchtop lathe. It's like $230. A Harbor Freight job. Try to figure out if I can cut my own stems, and that way I don't have to go over to Yogi's house every time and, ask him to cut me a stem. And then the stem, the whole thing will be made by me instead of pipes by CherkyB and stems by Yogi. He doesn't seem to mind. But, at some point you wear out your welcome. I'll just make him another pipe. I have a whole bunch of cigars that are just languishing now. It's hard to go back to cigars. It's much the same experience. So a cigar is about $7. It's about 50 cents worth of tobacco. So if you're willing to do the initial investment in buying a pipe, or, becoming friends with me and getting me to make you a pipe for free, then, it's well worth it as an alternative to smoking cigars. You have to buy a check tool. And I'm not joking. These are $2. Right? $2. You have to buy you don't have to. For a cigar, you're supposed to buy a cigar cutter. The cigar cutter I have is about $45. It's really nice. It's titanium. But very sharp, dual scissors thing. Beautiful. But expensive. And you need, you need an ashtray that's got a cork in it. Surprisingly expensive for something like that. It's like $20 for that ashtray. But a cigar ashtray is also about $20. Cigar ashtray is not strictly necessary. You can tap the ash anywhere. With a pipe, it's harder because, you've got to tap the wood part. You don't want to just bang it on anything random. You can dent it, break the stem off. And then you need a pipe lighter. This was the most expensive part of it, right? The lighter itself. Because you need one that shoots the flame out, that way instead of that way. You don't have to buy a fancy one like this. This one's got a Kraken on it and a K. It's a limited edition. It's kind of like got leather on it too. It's really nice. This is a really nice lighter. You can buy the non-limited edition one. It's a little bit cheaper. And there's about 6 companies that make a lighter that looks almost identical to this. And they start at about $35. This is sort of mid-priced at, $85 or so. And they go up to, there's some of them that are about $500. And they look exactly the same, except the $500 ones are like gold-plated or sterling silver-plated and stuff. Different companies. These guys, the most expensive one they make, I think is about $120. They're all the same lighter, they just have different cases. So, $80 for that, maybe. $20 for that, and $2 for that. We'll call it a nice even $105 with tax and shipping. And that's low. Probably $110 with tax. You get free shipping if you spend $99 though, so. I'm going to save that much in one box of cigars. But the pipe costs the money. You can get into a decent machine-made pipe for $35. You want a handmade pipe by CherkyB? Those are quite a bit more expensive at $0. Except, then you feel compelled to buy me drinks all the time. Who's thinking? Everyone I drink with gets a pipe. Coincidence? You want a pipe, Ruth? Well, that's all the news for today. I still have to dial into a meeting at work later. I don't have to talk in it or anything. But I've got to meet with Malaysia. I got to be in a meeting with Malaysia. I don't actually have to. I'm not sure I have to be there. I'll go anyway. I'm a good sport. They pay me a lot of money to act like I care. The sun's out from behind its cloud. Well, there's another cloud coming. It's going to set soon. All right, Rufus and I are going to finish up here. We'll talk to you later, CherkyB from CherkyB, whether or not your best source in blog-worthy weather observations. We are not a forecasting site. Signing off. Arrivederci.